Hello, everybody. Welcome to the NIKO Show. I am your host, NikoTheLegend, and today we are going over another episode of game news and everything that you love about the gaming world. And once again, we have more stuff to talk about. Hope everybody's doing well. Make sure you got your Mega Man mugs with you. And before we get started, guys, I just want to remind you that on the YouTube channel, I have released the finale for Resident Evil 2. Let's Play series that I've been doing with Dr. Decesso. So if you want to check that out, or check out the series or the finale, it's up to you. That is being released. That is actually just released, but by the time this video comes out, it'll be out already. So, yeah. And then also, I am writing a current novel called NikoTheLegend, a fantasy epic. I call it a fantasy epic, but fantasy built from the ground up. I've been working on it for the past 5 years, but in the meantime, I did write a bunch of short stories last year in order to add some filler while we're waiting for that NikoTheLegend novel. And we have the first story, one of the first, posted on Amazon.com right now. It's called Need More Lumber by Nicholas Sorokin. Need More Lumber. I hope you guys check that out. It's a really good story. I think you like it. It's not the final draft of my short stories or compilation of short stories or what I'm doing, but it gives you an idea about the character and the world that the character takes place and what it's all about. So if you like thriller and horror and that type of regard, mainly thriller for short stories, then you'll definitely like that. NikoTheLegend novel is mainly like a Lord of the Rings type approach. You can't go wrong with that. I just want to get that out of the way. By the way, I'm doing great, and you know what? I got great news. Nimble is alive and well and healthy. It's been since this past Monday that he has gone home from the hospital. Just a refresher of what happened to him. Nimble had some blockage in his penis area. He didn't have any stones or anything like that, no crystals, so his physical diet was fine, but I think it's his hydration that was the problem, because they think that he wasn't going to get enough moisture in his diet, so he had some mucus build up on his penis, and that was preventing him to pee. It was really bad. He was in critical condition. He couldn't move. His bladder was about to explode. His bladder weighed a whole pound, basically. That's pretty ridiculous. So he was in the hospital for 5 days since last Wednesday, and everything's good to go. The bill isn't as bad as I was thinking, because luckily the doctor was very kind enough to freeze the bill in the last 2 to 3 days. When he was there over the weekend. I still had to pay $1,700, which is still a lot of money, but not as much as I was thinking originally. And it would have been as much as I was thinking if he had to stay there any longer. But luckily, I had to apply for another credit care program for animals and pets. I'm sure a lot of you have done that as well for our pets. I mean, he's my furry baby. Now he's just doing great, trying to recover on sleep and rest, because he's been in there for so long in this scary place. The hospital can be a scary place for an animal. If you thought humans were bad, well, animals probably deal with it 10 times worse, because they don't even know how to really properly act. They just are like, oh my god, what is this place? And they decide to go AWOL. But he's been doing well. I've been getting him the medication he needs, to keep his bladder from spazzing out, antibiotics for, the swelling, and then some other oral injection that's supposed to help with his pee or something like that. Anyway, the whole shebang. And he's been doing really well. I actually decided to keep him in the keep. A little redundant, right? Where I'm staying at, just all 24 hours a day. Usually overnight, he would really hard for me to sleep back in the day, so I'd have to put him overnight in the workshop, the roof over his head. But I like to just keep eyes on him at all times, and it worked for a certain amount of period, but just in case, no crazy anomalies happen or something like that, some unexplained thing, at least he's in a controlled area to where I can actually probably find what was the cause of his sickness or something if that happens again. And usually this blockage thing doesn't happen again. It happens once, and then it just never comes back. So hopefully that this will be the last time. I put I put an extra 2 water bowls on the floor, so he's just hydrating. I give him wet food every day, and I was giving him wet food, but not every day. Uh, you know, I was being lazy about that. So male cats definitely need that. So you give them salty food, they want to drink water, and then they pee. That's technically how it's supposed to go. So I'm very happy, very glad that Nimble has used one of his 9 lives, and it's great that he's back, cuter than ever, and fluffier. You might see him in the recording, in this live stream. But that's mainly it for the. Well, there's one other thing for the personal stuff going on. The second one is that I'm going on a trip. I won't trip to Idaho/Montana next Friday. So that is May 3rd to May 10th. Because I'm going on kind of a business trip to build a cabin in Idaho, and then we're also going to Glacier Park for a couple nights, a couple nights in Montana, and it's gonna be really exciting. Mainly a business trip, just trying to get all the building stuff done for the plans, and then the construction, and then just finalizing everything for the cabin to be built. It's pretty much ready to go and be built. You just need to go up. You just need to probably sign some paperwork, or just go up there and do some talking. Just get the lay of the land. And I can't wait. It's gonna be exciting. My dad and I are going. It's gonna be good fun. With that said, with that in mind, I won't be real. Well, I don't know. I actually thought about it. If I have good enough connection, I might have to use just like my 4G data. And I was thinking to stream a bit while I'm up there. I don't know how much stream data takes up for a phone. I might just try to stream for like an hour so people see what I'm doing. I don't know, because like I kind of want to get away from doing all this technological stuff, but who am I kidding, right? I mean, how do I say this? Realistically, when you're a tourist, how many things are you going to try to do? I mean, it'd be nice to do something different each day, but you can only do so much with with the resources you have. I mean, I'm going to go hiking, which is my biggest thing. I'm going to do a lot of exploration like that. I mean, we'll have a rentable car, which is going to be great. A rentable car. We'll have a car rented out. And I'll be able to drive to some places if I want to do this exploration. There's a nice, where the cabin's being built is in Salmon County, next to the Salmon River, and we'll definitely have places to explore, like the town itself, and just see how the people are, kind of get, like I said, the lay of the land, which is going to be really great. And that's the same thing I'm going to be kind of doing when I go to, when my dad and I stay in Glacier Park for a couple nights. Because when we're initially getting there, we're getting there on the weekend, and then we're driving, I think what is it? I want to say we're staying the night there first in Salmon County, and then driving to another 5 hours. It's like 5 hours to, I think it's 5 hours to get to Montana, Glacier Park, where the cabin's at. And we're going to drive there pretty much the next day, the following day. I don't think we're just going to go, we're not going to go straight there after we get off the plane and everything. We're actually just going to chill out in Idaho for a day, the remainder of the day. But Glacier Park this is gonna be the really good time to go. It's spring leading on to summer, pretty much, and a lot of the trails, I'm pretty sure the trails, majority of them are gonna be open to hike and everything, and they have so many hike trails there, and I can't wait to try to explore them and just because I want to go on these hike trails, and I just want to just go and relax and not feel rushed. I don't know how my dad's going to do, because he's not in the best, no offense, Dad, but my dad's not in the best condition to do hiking, like health-wise and heart-wise, health. I mean, I'm gonna talk to him about it, because not to sound like a dick or anything, but I don't want that to like hold me back from exploring and everything, exploring and just soaking it all in. Who knows, he might find stuff for himself to do, but I'm sure he'll understand, because I don't want to be rushed. And that's the same thing when I go to New Zealand at the end of this year. I don't want to be rushed for exploring. I want to go on the back roads, the back country, and explore the wildlife and the countryside, where you're not limited by goddamn boundaries and stuff. Of course, I'm going to be a nice, dedicated individual in terms of, upholding not even the laws of the government or anything, but the laws of the land and treat it with respect. I'm not going to start burning trees down or some shit. Oh, NIKO would be so cool, right? But that's the Idaho trip's happening next Friday. Oh, you know what? I was supposed to do. Oh my gosh, I was supposed to do a big stream for Nimble. I just realized that a big Twitch stream for his survival, a celebratory stream, and I was actually gonna do one if he, yeah, like I said, he was in critical condition. He could have died. If he died, I would have done another celebratory stream of just doing a stream in his honor and everything, because that's how much he means to me. It would be I try to make it like an 8-hour stream too. But anyway, or 4 hours to 8 hours, depending on how effective the stream is going and everything. But anyway, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Yeah, those are the two main things happening in RL, and I'm excited to do it. I can't wait. Hopefully, I meet some cool new people up there. You never know when you're traveling the country that you might find the person you were looking for. Oh. So, now let's get down to game stuff. I have been streaming the Mass Effect trilogy as Female Shepherd. Real talk, I've been doing the Twitch streams for Female Shepherd of the Mass Effect trilogy 1 through 3, or 1 to 3. 1 through 3 is the same thing. And so far, I've made it to the halfway point in Mass Effect 2. I beat Mass Effect 1 as Female Shepherd, Paragon mode. And now I'm doing the same thing on Mass Effect 2. Still got a ways to go. I have about 15 hours left, 15 hours in, and it's gonna be a bit. And then we're gonna be obviously finalizing the playthrough on Mass Effect 3, and I can't wait. It's gonna be a ton of fun. And why am I doing this playthrough? Well, it's because I've never beaten the whole trilogy on PC. And with great texture mods that you can download, it's like you're playing the game for the first time, and it looks amazing. Mass Effect 2's texture mods, they did a fantastic job. So I can't wait to see what Mass Effect 3 looks like, because the graphics got a lot better, normal, vanilla style from Mass Effect 1 and 2. And yeah, I can't wait. And it's fun. I've never beaten the original trilogy on PC, and I've never beaten it with Female Shepherd all the way through. And I'd like to do that this time. It's always been Male Shepherd for me. But like I said, very exciting to do. Very excited to play that. Off screen, I've been playing Tales of Vesperia on the Switch. It's been a good, fun JRPG game. If you like those Tales series games, I think you can enjoy it. If you like Final Fantasy or Star Ocean or games like that, Persona even. I mean, Tales of Vesperia is a really, really fun game to play on the Switch. Definitive Edition, that is. And then you know what? That's pretty much the main games that I'm playing right now. My backlog is kind of big right now because I got Breath of the Wild last week for the Switch, and even though I've already played the crap out of it on the Wii U, I think I want to play the crap out of it again on the Switch with better technology and less lag. When I'm playing Breath of the Wild on the Switch, the FPS in towns would usually drop on the Wii U version, that is. And it would just be pretty abysmal. And they try to fix it with updates, but it only went so far. But on the Switch, there's no FPS drop, like substantially. It doesn't go down to like 15 FPS. And I'm just like, oh my god, this is so nice. I love you guys. It's just great. And the game runs and looks fantastic on the Switch. It's definitely the better version of the two. But I mean, it's great that the Wii U has 3 different Zelda games, It's got Twilight Princess HD, which is fantastic, Wind Waker HD, which is fantastic, and it's got Breath of the Wild, so that's pretty nice. I think that's still a victory for the Wii U, despite how people feel about it. And despite all that, like I said, I still had a blast playing Breath of the Wild. The FPS drop was only, it wasn't a constant thing. But now it's not even a thing on the Switch. Good job, Nintendo, for the Switch version. I'm just kidding. They tried them on the Wii U. I'm hoping to play that. Well, I'm going to try to play that as my summertime game for when, whenever summer starts. I don't have like schools out, the summer break or anything, 'cause I'm still gonna be working. But you know, you always gotta have that summertime game, and I know the Switch has some two big games coming out. You got Super Mario Maker 2, that's coming out in June, and then July you got Fire Emblem Three Houses, which is gonna be just fucking crazy cool. I can't wait to get that game. My first ever Fire Emblem game. But you know, in the meantime, I'll probably be playing Breath of the Wild. You know. But I seriously can't wait for Super Mario Maker 2. That's going to be a game that makes the Switch a lot of money too. There's a lot of great Nintendo games releasing this year. There's a whole list of it, so you should definitely check those out. I can't wait for Pokemon Sword and Shield. That's going to load it. Okay, let's get on to the news stuff. Yes, 20 minutes in. I just like talking and keeping you guys updated. I know you guys might be here for better things. But that's fine. All right, all these articles are from IGN. All right, here we go. As we all know, Days Gone has recently released for the PlayStation 4 as an exclusive title, which, you know what? I can actually see this game coming to PC one day. I could see it coming to PC because I don't think this game is going to sell that well on PS4. Just because of what the review is saying. So what I'll do is just read the beginning statements, you know, the beginning of the article, kind of the introduction. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's pretty damn long. And then we'll read the conclusion, and then we'll talk about it a little bit. You know, if you want to just see the review, just read it on IGN or watch the video. It's like, Nico, we could watch the video. No, I want to do the talking. Yeah, Days Gone is a zombie horde post-apocalyptic type game. So, and it's an open world game. And so you can only imagine how well that can do. Hence, and thus proves my fact that open world games are just not for every company. Nope. Okay. Days Gone review. Frantic hordes of zombies are exciting, but the world and repetition aren't. Oh, that's not a good thing, because open world games should have something always great happening to them. Days Gone kicks off relatively simply. You play as a biker riding through an open world zombie post-apocalypse, seeking answers around his dead wife and smashing enemy faces in with crunchy, weighty melee weapons. Sometimes there are spectacular hordes of them. So far, so straightforward. Yet through its 60-odd hour ride, Days Gone loses its focus with repetitive missions, a meandering and thematically unsatisfying storyline, and an excess of bugs and busy work. When you slow down for a minute or two, these issues combine with a dreary, uninteresting open world and add up to an uneven and mostly toothless zombie experience. Ooh. All right, we'll read the next article. That's fine. For a gruff biker dude traveling through a zombie-infested... Okay, they're technically virus-infected humans called freakers, but functionally the same thing. Oregon... Deacon St. John is endearingly gentle and sweet-natured protagonist. His gruff charm and unassuming I ain't no leader demeanor is mostly well voiced by Sam Witwer, aka Darth Maul on Star Wars: The Clone Wars, also who played Starkiller in The Force Unleashed. Aside from moments where he explicitly yells during stealth missions and occasionally tendency to overact in more frantic sequences. Okay, so now we'll just get to the conclusion and talk about it. Let's see. Story missions are wrapped in dramatic importance that they don't earn. Zombie. Melee in particular is a weighty and bloody blast. Well, that's good. Okay, here we go. Oh, on the road again. Even with strong combat, things get boring after a while because Days Gone's missions suffer from repetition across the board. As Deacon explores Oregon, he stumbles across a number of survivor camps, each has a leader with their own to-do list of various jobs you have to do in order to build enough trust and credits to unlock new weapons and bike upgrades. These jobs tend to be variations on tracking down a traitor, rescuing a hostage, or clearing out a camp. They all tend to play out in a similar fashion. A few dozen of hours of this same mission structure took its toll on me. There's also notable frame rate dips while playing on a PS4 Pro at 1080p. Oh, Jesus Christ. The verdict. Days Gone feels bloated, like a movie that goes on for an hour longer than it needs to or should have. It's messy and confused, but peppered with genuinely thrilling encounters with rampaging hordes of zombies and occasionally breathless firefights. There's a good game in here somewhere, but it's buried in a meandering storyline, repetitive missions, and just too much obligatory stuff to do without an eye on the smaller details that could have given it much more character. Some fine-tuning editing could have removed the tedium and celebrated what makes this game unique and interesting, but Days Gone rides strictly down the middle of the dusty road and never finds its rhythm. And that's why this game probably shouldn't have been open world. Let's just be frankly honest with you guys. It probably should have just been a maybe kind of like a semi-open world, kind of like how Vampire is. Um, Vampire, for example, is a semi-open world to where, you got this world that you can explore, but it's not. It's more quality than quantity. It's not as big as like playing Witcher Three's world or Skyrim or Breath of the Wild. It takes place in a smaller part of the city, but there's just so much happening in it, so much story and everything. It's like got a lot of content and meaty stuff. They should have done it like that. They probably should have done it like that. I get it with the whole bike thing and everything. Riding the bike, you would want to not be so condensed. You want to have freedom exploration, but I mean, who said that it needed a bike? I mean, maybe you could still use a bike, but the world probably didn't need to be that big, because I'm telling you, if the world was smaller, things would actually be more appreciated because there's just so much not happening in the world that there's just nothing there to explore. That's why I loved playing The Witcher. I loved playing Skyrim. I loved playing Breath of the Wild, because when you play those games, and Red Dead Redemption 2. Okay, my top two favorite open world games are Breath of the Wild. Just the open world aspect. It's Breath of the Wild and Red Dead Redemption 2. And obviously Skyrim, the top three. I'm sorry. And the reason why is because those games always had something for you to do, something interesting for you to explore. Now I can't remember exactly about vanilla Skyrim, but with modded Skyrim, it has all these things that the game should have had. But I thoroughly enjoyed vanilla Skyrim because all the dungeons, the caves, the people you find and talk to, the companions you get, the missions you do, the story you do. It was all very cool, and the real-time aspects. Like, for example, in Skyrim, you could be just traveling with your companions, and then you just see people fighting off a dragon in the distance. That shit is cool. Now, if this game has it, good. That's great. But from what I'm reading, from what I've read so far, is that it's just not an interesting world. Maybe it didn't have enough of those real-time events, random occurrences. Breath of the Wild has something random happening everywhere you look, everywhere you go. There's something interesting for you to look at, to go to, and you're always every 30. I can't remember what developer says, but if you can't invent something new for the gamer every 30 seconds, or keep them entertained for every 30 seconds. With some type of feature or some new thing, then they're not going to enjoy their time. Red Dead Redemption 2, I enjoyed my time thoroughly every time I played that game too, because there were so many cool random events that take place. It felt like a living, breathing world. And Red Dead Redemption 2's world is pretty big too. But they did it just right. It was a spectacular way to make a game world. They did a fantastic job. Now, Horizon Zero Dawn, Days Gone. Horizon Zero Dawn is, I don't think it was that great of an open world game, to be honest. It graphically is amazing, gameplay is great, but the open world mechanics were definitely not as immersive or innovative as Breath of the Wild or Red Dead Redemption 2. And I basically stopped playing Horizon Zero Dawn because I just kind of got bored with the game. Some games. Now, that doesn't mention that the game isn't shit. It's just, for me, I might have just got too sidetracked by the open world mechanics, and maybe I wasn't playing enough of the story. I don't know. This is why open world games are so hard to do properly, and it's a huge balancing act. And you either do it well or you don't do it well. There's no in the middle. I'm sorry, even if this got a 6.5 out of 10 review. If I'm going to spend 60 hours, I want this to be an amazing experience. Okay. I want it to be about all my experiences to be memorable. Just because you can throw zombies at somebody and they're surviving with their life that way doesn't make it, the best thing about the game. There should be other things like how the zombies are affecting the open world. Besides doing repetitive missions for people camping out, what if we just saw some environmental storytelling, like how Dark Souls does? Maybe that's what the game needed. Because they were in this article is saying that it just didn't have enough story or interesting story to have, which is a damn shame. They should have just hired the writer who did The Last of Us to make this game, to write for this game. But anyway, if you are enjoying Days Gone, then that's great. That's fine. I don't know how much you're enjoying it. I don't know how much you love repetition. It's almost like an anthem with that repetition and just boring ass quests. To me, the best open world zombie game I've ever played is Dying Light. Best first-person zombie game I've ever played. One of the best, besides Left 4 Dead, but that's a whole different spectrum of gameplay. But Dying Light is seriously... I'm glad they're making a sequel. Dying Light is definitely the best looking, great, pretty decent story, I would say, and just a great world in terms of zombies and everything. And they did a fantastic job. But anyway, folks... Hope you're enjoying that. It's a shame that a PS4 exclusive didn't do that well, because usually PlayStation exclusives are always top quality, top notch. But I don't know about this. I don't know who made this game. I thought it would say already. But even when it was delayed about 2 months, it still wasn't enough. It probably needed another couple months, but it can only go so far. All right, that was Days Gone. Let's go to the next one. All right. So we're talking about PlayStation 5. Will not launch before April 2020. May 2020 is the earliest we could see the PS5. Sony will not launch the PlayStation 5 before April 2020. 2020, haha, bitch. Oh my god, you know what? It's going to be insane when 420 happens next year. Like, it's going to be 4/20/20. Oh my god. It's going to be fucking stupid. The statement comes from Sony's PR department in the wake of the company's end of financial year results, and it's been reported by the Wall Street Journal. Writer Takashi Mochizuki on Twitter, no next-gen PlayStation launch over the next 12 months. That, you know what, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that so far, because I hopped onto the PlayStation bandwagon sometime at the end of 2017, I believe. Yeah, I'm pretty far behind. Yeah, at the end of 2017. This puts the PlayStation 5's launch window outside of 2019-2020 financial year, meaning it will be May 2020 at the earliest before we see Sony's next-gen console on sale. Of course, that's assuming the console will release in 2020 at all. At current, we have no official suggestion as to what years Sony's next-gen hardware will launch. We already know some interesting details about the PlayStation 5, including its supports for 8K visuals, enhanced sound backwards compatibility, and solid-state storage that would dramatically reduce load times. Ooh, solid-state drive is great. But the announcement of these details appeared intended to prepare people for the inevitable rather than immediate arrival of the PS5. Be sure to check... Okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay, now, I understand that people can make the argument. It's like, well, they're not about the 8K thing. Look, there's not even really anything 8K out right now for TVs. Not really. Not on a grand scale compared to like 4K and HDR and... probably just making shit up now, and just 1080p. 8K, maybe by next year Sony will have a launch lineup of 8K TVs to support the PlayStation 5's launch as a marketing strat, which would just be super fucking crazy expensive. But I mean, our eyes can only track so much. I mean, Jesus Christ, 8K is just gonna be too much for me. But now, so you could say, the Xbox One X might still be better. I don't know. Xbox One X is pretty powerful, but when the next Xbox comes out, that's going to be interesting. The next Xbox, I mean, it might be graphically and technologically, it might be better than the PS5, but you know what? I don't care about that. I don't care how good a game looks. I'm sorry about my eye. I only care about the games that come out on it and how you handle yourself. Look, Xbox 360 destroyed the PS3 because the PS3 made the same mistakes as the Xbox One did. Horrible marketing strategy, horrible price tag. They didn't know what they were doing. They were full of themselves because of the PlayStation 2 success, and they got fucked over from it. PlayStation 3 got fucked over by the 360 because the 360 was a fun console for everybody, and it had great exclusives for it. It had a great lineup of games that are only on the Xbox. And then, guess what? This generation comes out. The next one comes out, and Xbox One basically shoots themselves in the foot by releasing a press conference that only talks about social media features and movies and shit, and not even about games. That's all they talked about, was just mainly their stupid media shit. And PlayStation and then the price tag. You can only get the Xbox with the Kinect, and people are like, oh god, and then you're paying $500 for it or something. The PlayStation 4 was $100 cheaper, $400, I believe. Yeah, it was $400, and you didn't have a stupid iToy or Kinect with them. You can just buy the console itself, and they were making games specifically for the console. It was a gaming console first, not a media console. So that's why Microsoft has hit the fucking shit fan so hard this generation. They every year they're like, this year is the best year for being an Xbox user. We have the best games. They listed like 2 exclusives last year for the Xbox. Every other game was on all the other consoles, all the other platforms. Oh my god. Crackdown 3, subpar game. Gears of War 5, franchise fatigue. Although I'll still be getting Gears 5, of course, because I love Gears of War overall. Battletoads, not even coming out this year. Ori and the Blind Forest sequel didn't even come out last year. You know, exclusives that are coming out that are still far away from coming out. They canceled Scalebound. That was supposed to come out at the end of last year. No Fable 4. No announcement. Oh, Halo Infinite. Okay, when is that going to come out? 2 years from now? We're talking about now. Oh, Jesus criminy. PlayStation. Okay, so PlayStation 5 is going to sell exceedingly well. You want to know why? Oh, God, I can't wait. Now, we don't know how much the backwards compatibility goes into, but yes, backwards compatibility is going to be such a strong selling point for the PlayStation 5 because the PlayStation 4 didn't really have backwards compatibility. But you were able to play old games on there by downloading games online and buying those games again. Which, I mean, at least they had that. It's kind of like the... but you know what? The Switch doesn't have backwards compatible, but for the longest time, you could play GameCube games on the Wii. You could play Wii games on the Wii U. Xbox One, you could play 360 games, and I think 360, I don't think that was backwards compatible, sadly. But the PS3 was backwards compatible in the beginning. It had where you can play PlayStation 1 and 2 games. PlayStation 2 could play PlayStation 1 games, and it's always been a thing that they've been doing. So it's great that they're going to go back to it with the backwards compatibility, and I hope it's full-blown backwards compatibility, which would be so freaking awesome. I think they could do it. I mean, I really hope so. They have the firmware to do it, and the right people working on it. Like I said, it's a big selling point. It's going to be really cool to play, you know, Spider-Man, Bloodborne, God of War, Detroit Become Human, Death Stranding, Last of Us Part 2. I mean, shit, that's what other games do I have that are exclusive? You know, there's so many other games exclusives. The Last Guardian. I'm saying the exclusives because it's those games are all really great. The ones I listed, they're fucking fantastic. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be great. Man, I've seen an example of the PS5 solid state drive working from PS4 Pro Spider-Man, and then that solid state loading used for Spider-Man on the PS5. And the PS5 loaded that game like it was nobody's business. It was just like a second, and the Spider-Man was like 8 to 10 seconds or something. Yeah, it was crazy. Which I hope to get that game sometime this year. It's standard $40 now, but I probably get it when it's $30, to be honest, when it's half off. Just because it's a superhero game, and those games should always be cheap. I mean, despite how well that game did, but yeah, Sony's just got great games, man. Great fucking games. And I hope they don't fuck up like they did for the PS3 with their marketing strategy and everything. I don't think they will. I think PS3 was their only hiccup that they had for marketing. I never said the PS3 was a shitty console. They had some really good games and fun features for it. But like I said, marketing is a big deal if you want to make hardware sales. And Microsoft is definitely paying dearly. I mean, Nintendo Switch and the PS4 are just doing really well right now. Xbox, I don't even want the next Xbox unless I know it's got great exclusives. If Halo Infinite isn't a launch title for the next Xbox, I'm probably not going to buy it. Or if Fable 4 isn't a launch title for the next Xbox, I won't buy it. I just fucking won't. See how much 1 or 2 games makes it or breaks it for me? Well, that's how it should be. That's how it should be. Okay, next one. Shut up, Jackie Jing. All right, there has been some big Persona 5 details recently, as recently stated in other articles. Persona 5 The Royale, which is this expansion to the original game, which is I think it's technically the full Persona 5 experience with a ton of extra content. But correct me if I'm wrong. If it's just an expansion, kind of like how they did with Xenoblade Chronicles 2, The Golden Country, it was literally its own game. But we will see. I can't wait to get Persona 5 The Royale. It's going to be great fun. But the Switch is also getting a Persona 5 type game set in the Persona 5 universe. And it's called Persona 5 Scramble, announced for Switch and PS4. Oh, it's not even exclusive. It's for PS4 as well. No, PS5 isn't a Persona 5. PS5S isn't a Persona 5 Switch port, which I really wish it was. Persona 5 Scramble, The Phantom Strikers, a Masao spin-off of the mainline Persona series, has been announced for PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch. Announced during the Persona Super Live 2019 concert via a brief Japanese trailer, Persona 5 Scramble is being celebrated as a collaboration between Atlus and Koei Tecmo's Omega Force team, known for its work on Dynasty Warriors. According to Persona Central, it's being labeled as the first action RPG in the Persona series. While little is known about the game, the trailer clearly shows Persona 5 Scramble as a mouse-out game where Joker fights against large hordes of enemies all at once. The game currently has no official release date, though an official website has gone live. Fans have anticipated its Persona 5 game for Nintendo Switch for some time, though it isn't quite what most expected. Speculation about a potential Switch port of Persona 5 began when Atlus started teasing Persona 5 R and other new projects in 2018 December. And Nintendo revealed Joker as the first paid DLC character in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. As it turns out, Persona 5 R is Persona 5 Royale, is an expanded re-release of the mainline game coming exclusively to PlayStation 4. And yeah, so I guess I was right. This is great. I mean, this is great. At least Nintendo is getting something Persona 5 related. I mean, it's probably not what you asked for, but it's better than nothing. I just think it's great that Nintendo is getting, Joker on Smash Bros. Ultimate, and he's fucking awesome in that game. And you're getting a Persona 5 Scramble game, which is like Dynasty Warriors. And you know what? They've been doing really well. Dynasty Warrior games are doing worse than the collaboration games. Let me just tell you. I've seen the latest Dynasty Warrior, I don't even know what the fuck they're on now. 9 or something? I don't even know. But, they just look so terrible and buggy and glitchy. And then Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition was a great collaboration with Atlus. Band of the Hawk, I mean, I guess that was an okay game. It wasn't their best collaboration. Dragon Quest Heroes 2 was a great collaboration. Fire Emblem Warriors was another great collaboration. Because each collaboration they do, they put their own spin on it. That you still feel like you're a part of that game's universe that they're trying to do the collaboration with. They do a really good job of doing that. And they have their own different nuances, like characters, worlds to explore, dungeons and items and quests and stuff. Dragon Quest Heroes 2 is probably the most underrated Dragon Quest game out there. I say that because nobody really plays it online. You can play that game online with your friends doing dungeon raids and stuff, and then the single player is pretty good. Obviously, it's nowhere as good as Dragon Quest 11. Oh, nothing can really beat that. I mean, I would have loved to see Persona 5 run on the Switch. I think that would have been badass. But I don't know. I wouldn't count it out of the cards yet. Who knows? You might see it sometime down the road. Maybe how popular Persona 5 is on Nintendo, maybe that'll make them realize, like, shit, we should probably do a Persona 5 Switch port. Because when Joker came out, the 3.0 update, not even that, but just Joker itself, when that released, Nintendo servers fucking crashed to update Smash Brothers. Crashed the Nintendo servers. That is pretty insane, because you had Stage Builder, you had the new update, and then you had Joker coming out. If that doesn't impress anybody, then you guys are living under a damn rock then. It's fucking crazy. So that's a very good sign for people at Atlus. They're like, holy crap, I never expected that to happen. And hopefully the Phantom Strikers does well. I hope it does well. And like I said, I will be getting... Definitely be getting Persona 5, the Royale. Oh, although it's going to be another... Oh, it's going to be longer than 98 hours. It's casual play of that game is 98 hours for the story. It's freaking crazy. I've never spent so much time on a game for a story. But it's just... It's such a memorable adventure. I mean, that is... I don't know how those people don't lose sleep. I'm sure they have. Persona 5 took a long time to come out since Persona 4. It took them 10 years to do. It's pretty ridiculous. I mean, probably a lot of different iterations they went through, a lot of different rewrites. And they were deciding if they wanted to release it only on PS3, so they decided to port it to PS4. You know, it's just so interesting to me. Anyway, let's go to the next article. Okay, here we go. Nintendo has no plan to announce new hardware at E3. Don't expect a cheaper Switch model from Nintendo's E3 Direct. CEO Shintaro Furukawa has said that the company has no plans to announce has no plans to announce new hardware at E3 2019. Talking at a Nintendo's earnings event, Furukawa said that there was nothing to announce in regards to possible new hardware, according to tweets posted by Tokyo-based Reuters. Journalist Sam Nusei, Furukawa did say that Nintendo is always developing hardware internally, however. Furukawa's statements comes after a report from Bloomberg and the Wall Street Journal suggested that a new, cheaper version of the Nintendo Switch is planned to launch as early as June, as well as an upgraded version later in the year. While Nintendo's official line does not directly refute these reports, it does suggest that even if consoles are in the works, they won't be revealed. Well, it's fucking Wall Street. I mean, are we going to really listen to the wolves of Wall Street? I mean, Jesus criminy. But it also doesn't... They also don't deny that it's not an actual thing. But you know what? Here's my thing. If they release... Now, if they pull, like they do for the 3DS, they release an enhanced version of the Switch, which would be a little more expensive, like an XL version, like they do for the 3DS... I will buy that, and I will sell the Switch I have now for store credit towards that newer one. Because the rumors are like, oh, it might be able to play 3DS games. I'd be like, holy fucking shit, yeah. The whole backwards compatibility thing gets me every time. Now, if there's a cheaper Switch model to where it's only handheld mode, I think that's great too. Because that'd probably be a very smart marketing thing. But you should also put that you can play 3DS games on it as well, on the handheld only mode. But I mean, there's a lot of great games for the Switch that you can play handheld. It's fun playing any game on the Switch handheld. They did a fantastic job. It's so convenient, very comfortable, and it's just fun. It's just a really very well stylized console. It's really good. And then you're like, okay, I'm done. I'm gonna play on the TV now. But it's great to bring over to friends' houses, wherever you go on the road, to your workplace, you know, if you don't get in trouble. And it's just, you can just play it anywhere. You can play it fucking anywhere. You can, 2 Joy-Cons act as 2 controllers. What? Yeah, we can play Smash Brothers against each other, or fuck each other up or something, or play Mario Rabbids, or fucking. I want to say... I think you can play Super Mario Party. I don't remember exactly. I think you just need 1 Joy-Con for Super Mario Party. But Super Mario Party. No, I think you could play it. Okay, never mind. I'm okay. Oh, that's right. You can't play Super Mario Party handheld. You have to put it on its little stand. But it's still in a portable state. So. But you can't play it like this. You have to take the Joy-Cons off and everything. But this is, you know what? I wouldn't fret about it, folks. I mean, the Nintendo Switch, Nintendo is known for making, especially handheld, superior versions of the original model. A bigger or smaller version like the 2DS and the 3DS XL. And then the new 3DS, which I do have. And they made a new 3DS XL, and I have the regular new 3DS. But, you know, it's pretty cool. I could play Xenoblade Chronicles on it or Dragon Quest VIII if I really wanted to. But it'd be great to play it on a Switch, which would be badass, by the way. Or, you know what? What if they had it to where they're like, okay, it's not 3DS games. You could play Wii U games on it or something, or the Wii games, or we start opening up the eShop with virtual consoles with like old school Nintendo games or something like that. I mean, goddamn, that'd be so cool. I mean, we're still waiting for Netflix to go on Nintendo. What the fuck? They just have Hulu and YouTube. I don't know what's going on with them over there. Like, what is Nintendo doing? I mean, they fucking had it for the Wii U. Wii U. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Like I said, I will trade in my Switch to get an upgraded version for sure. All right, now this one is a little more on the sillier note. Sorry, let me fix this real quick. Face the mic towards me. All right, someone beat Sekiro Shadows Dies Twice using Donkey Kong bongos. I actually have to post this in my Discord. That is just too silly. All right, we did that real time. Whoops. Oh, I gotta sneeze. Is the rhythm in you, Wolf? While most have a hard enough time getting through Sekiro with a standard controller, one daring individual managed to beat the game using Donkey Kong bongos. Oh, known for using... Oh, a twerking Yoshi known for using bizarre controllers in his gaming runs posted a video of him beating Sekiro's final boss using 2 sets of DK bongos on Reddit. Oh my fucking god. You know how difficult the last boss is? Good god, that's insane. His DK bongo run reportedly took 10 hours. Oh my god, 10 hours? That's amazing. With 131 total resurrections and 31 deaths at the hands of the game's final boss. At the beginning of this rhythmic run, a twerking Yoshi posted a series of images on Imgur showing his DK bongo Sekiro setup. He modified the bongos to work with the game, with one pair largely acting as his directional inputs and the other mostly for attacks and parrying. He had to sacrifice camera controls in order to make this work. Oh god! Which he claims which he claims made seeing above or below him difficult, considering he managed to beat the entire game this way. It appears to have paid off. Oh my god. Part of why he did this run was to test his theory that Sekiro is just a really hard rhythm game. According to his Twitch page. He's also done runs in other games this way, including Dark Souls 3, certain parts of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and more. Oh man. Dark Souls 3, I think that he did, he played the game in Guitar Hero format, using a Guitar Hero controller. That is just crazy. Alright, let's check out these images. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Sekiro DK bongo controllers. Oh, God. It is so funny. I have to save this image. This is too funny. Save, goddammit. Oh, my lord. I'm glad saving has to be a pain in the ass. What the heck? Okay, let's go back to this. Oh, my God. Look at this. What? Oh god, what the shit, man? Look at this. Look at this. He's found a way to make it work even on PC. Oh god. That is so freaking hilarious. Look at this stuff. Spoilers, by the way. Dude, what a fucking champ, bro. What a fucking champ. That is, to me, that is just impressive. I still haven't beaten Sekiro. I'm on the last boss still. I got burnt out from that game because of how fucking hard it is. I'm on the very last boss. And, oh god. He is notoriously known as to being the most difficult end boss in all of From Software games. Or just boss, period. And probably in all of gaming history. I'm like, he's just unruly hard. I wouldn't say stupid hard. Because he's the end boss. I mean, that makes sense. No, stupid hard is when no matter what you do against the boss, he'll always just kick your fucking ass. Like, you can't use skill to beat him. You have to like level up 30 fucking thousand times to do it. I'm like, that's not a good way to design a boss. This you can actually win with skill. That's why I like Sekiro in that regard. But you know, not to shoot any bullets here, but I always prefer Dark Souls series, the best of what From Software has to add. I mean, I know people love Bloodborne because Bloodborne is pretty much a masterpiece of a game, but I'm sorry, I love Dark Souls, I love Medieval, I love the types of classes and the world building you get, and there's 3 games of it, so I have 3 different ways of playing the game. I mean, They might make Bloodborne 2 or Sekiro 2. You never know. Okay. Oh. Okay, so we should have followed up with this. Cheaper Nintendo Switch model to reportedly launch by June. Oh. Okay. A modest upgrade is allegedly also in the works. Oh, okay. This was 2 days ago. Oh, this is an update. Okay. A new report indicates that Nintendo will launch a new, cheaper version of Nintendo Switch by the end of June with a modest upgrade to the existing model, allegedly coming later this year, which would be the one I'm getting. In a financial report of Bloomberg, a small excerpt suggests the cheaper Switch model is coming very soon. An outright more powerful version is allegedly not in the works, though details on this claims are sparse. Whether this alludes to a PS4 Pro or Xbox One X like hardware boost or simply a series of hardware redesigns akin to the DS Lite remains to be seen. The report is based on claims from 2 unnamed sources. Oh, that's always fucking reliable. These claims partially line up with earlier reports below, which suggested Nintendo is planning on launching 2 new versions of the Switch this year. The cheaper model described in the Bloomberg report appears to be an attempt to boost sales growth and could very well remove things like vibration features to cut costs. Yeah. If you're playing the handheld version only, I get that. The description of the modest upgrade sounds less like an all-around new model, though it's possible it could still act as an enhanced version of the baseline hardware targeted at video game enthusiasts. Which I would love to get a better Nintendo console for better frame rate and stuff. Fuck yeah, dude. And who knows what else cool features they'll add on this. If they say anything backwards compatible for the enhanced version, oh my god, everybody will sell the current Switch they have now. I am not kidding. People would die for those things. That's pretty great. Well, I'm glad that this is still a thing in the end of June. So Super Mario Maker 2 and then a new Switch model. People will probably slurp some b-hole for that. Well, that's great. Well, folks, that has been it for the NIKO Show today. I've been your host, NikoTheLegend. I hope you did enjoy. We talked about a good amount of stuff today. If you like what you saw, follow me on Twitch. Check out my YouTube channel. Like I said, we got the Resident Evil 2 finale, what was just recently posted, and we got a new Let's Play that's coming out this coming weekend. I hope you enjoy that. And then don't forget to check out my short story, the first short set of short stories that I already made, called Need More Lumber by Nicholas Sorokin. And let me know what you guys think. Write a review for it on Amazon. And yeah, you can buy it for 99 cents, folks. I definitely would appreciate that. Anyway, thank you so much, everybody. Take care. Enjoy your ball grabbing and your wife's vagina.